Hey everyone, I thought it was time I did another video, so here it is. I've been having lots of different coaching clients, and a new trend has come about, and that is that people are now kind of feeling sorry for themselves about the fact that they're not able to do what they normally do. Things like going on holidays, things like seeing their family and their friends, and that is completely understandable. But my main message from this video today is that this whole situation is either going to be made. You've got two ways of going with this, right? You can either become that victim mentality, or you can really look at this in a more positive way. And this isn't me saying that you need to kind of put rose glasses on and just pretend everything's amazing and okay, but it is about what you do with this situation. So today I'm going to be focusing on something called reframing. Now, I'm sure you all know what that is, but if you don't, it's basically looking at the same situation, and instead of having that negative outlook, it's about reframing it into a positive. And the way that you will do that is you kind of ask questions to yourself that are going to stimulate those kinds of thought processes that are going to make you feel more positive as you go about your day. Things like, what can I learn from this? Or how can I use this time productively? The main way of kind of taking this whole situation, in my opinion, is to look at it as an opportunity rather than some kind of negative imprisonment or something like that. So you can really change this. So like some of the common things people have been moaning about are the fact that they can't see their families. Now that is completely understandable, but it kind of makes you appreciate, if you reframe this, it kind of makes you think, okay, so you're starting to appreciate the fact that you want to see your family, and it kind of puts things into perspective, and it kind of makes you start to appreciate that you do have those connections. Because I know a lot of people that will purposely spend their time avoiding their family. They don't like going to see their family. They will actually do anything they can not to be there, and then suddenly they're like, I really want to see my family. So this is a positive thing, right? It's making you realize the value of those connections. And really, there's no excuse for you not to see your family, because you can use technology. Most people have a good internet connection, and with things like Zoom, you can literally have the whole family. And I know a lot of people that are doing this, where they will literally every day meet with their family all on the same page and have that interaction. Now, I guarantee you that they won't normally do that every day. So this is a wonderful thing, because they're having regular contact with their whole family, and again, because of what's going on outside, it's making them appreciate that time and those connections, and they're making the most of it. And hopefully those kinds of habits, because this isn't just a 2-week thing, it's going to be going on for a while, they're going to stick, right? Things are going to change. Families are going to become more connected because of this. So it's about how you frame it. Some people moaning that or not moaning, I don't like to use that word. Some people are feeling a bit down about the fact that that they can't go on holiday this year. So again, how are you going to turn that into a positive? It kind of makes you appreciate the value of freedom, and when you do have another holiday, you're going to appreciate it much more. So you could start thinking about where you'd like to go and who you want to go with, and you could even look back at the holidays you've been on and start to appreciate the fact that you're even able to do that. Some countries, God, when I went to India, I was speaking to a lot of the people over there, they'd never left the country, they'd never been on a plane, and they probably will never go on a plane in their whole lives. So it's a time of really starting to appreciate what you have. And because you haven't got it right now, it puts things into perspective, and you'll appreciate it a lot more. Like the first time you actually get to hug a human being, or the first time you actually get to go on a plane and on holiday again. It's going to mean so much more. Some people are not moaning, they're kind of, I suppose they are moaning about this one, okay? So they're moaning that they still have to go to work, and other people don't. How would you turn that around? I would say some people haven't got a job. Some people haven't actually been furloughed because they don't qualify for that. Me being included, right? So you kind of have to look at it as in, and usually the ones that are still working are because they're doing a valuable service that people need. So Whereas some people that aren't working, that have been furloughed, are volunteering for the NHS, or they're volunteering for local projects around there. Your job is that you're providing that support network for the people that, you know, aren't working right now. And for the ones, and just think yourself lucky that you do have a job and you'll be getting paid a full amount, rather than some people are getting 80%, and some people that aren't even getting that, right? Because they don't qualify for that if they're self-employed, and haven't been long, for someone like myself or other people like that. So just appreciate and be grateful for what you've got. And there's so many of these. I'm just trying to think of a few more. But one thing I want to say again is that you need to, before you kind of go about your day, the most important thing for you right now is to get back into the right part of your brain, the front part of your brain. When you're in the front part of your brain, you're going to be logical, rational, you're going to feel good, you're going to be productive, you're going to be able to focus. And when you do think about things, it'll be in a much more positive light. If you wake up stressed and you start thinking about stuff or scrolling through your phone, if you watch the media, please stop watching the news. If it's important, you'll find out about it, or just look at the headlines. Do not get sucked into that. It is literally going to make you feel a lot worse than you need to, because let's face it, from moment to moment, not much is changing. And if you didn't know, if you weren't watching that, you'd be in a much better mood and your day would go better. And you will find out, as I said, if it's an important piece of information, you will find out about it. But just being glued to it and going, when's it going to change? And getting sucked into the fact that it says death in every single headline, it's not doing your mental health any good. So priority at the beginning of every day is get back into the front part of your brain. And the way that you do that is things like exercise. I suggest you do some exercise in the morning or at lunchtime. Do some kind of meditation or mindfulness work. Or if you can't do any of those because you struggle with that, listen to one of my tracks, one of my relaxation or hypnosis tracks. They will put you back in a good state of mind and make you and set you up for the day. Gratitude, whatever it takes, right? Whatever makes you feel good. Listening to some music, dancing around the kitchen, I don't care what it is. Start your day by getting in the zone. The moment you're in the zone, the rest of the day is going to go well and you're going to feel good about stuff. And reframe. This is an opportunity, right? You could be learning a whole new skill right now. You know, how are you spending your day? Like, connect with people, yes, do all of those kinds of the things, but ask yourself some questions like, what do I need to do more of? What do I need to do less of? What is important to me? What is suddenly I'm realizing that is actually not important in life? This is a time of contemplation. This is a time where you can really use this time. For the ones that are being paid and they're staying at home and they're wondering what to do with their time, yes, you've got things to do, and yes, you may have kids to look after, but not all the time. So use the time when you can to just spend some time thinking about what's important. This is a unique situation where you really do get to have a bit of a rethink and reset and a shake-up and a time to evaluate how your life is going to be different in a good way, right? What can you do now in this unique situation where the world has been put on pause for a minute? What could you do that you've been putting off maybe your whole life? What is it that you want to start? Or we don't know how long this is going to go on for. So if you start a new skill, a hobby, be creative, doing the things that you don't normally have time to do, by the end of this is going to stick, because it's not a two-week thing. It's like a whole month thing. It's going to start a habit and you're going to keep that going. So this is a really good time while you're kind of being forced and all you've got is time to use that time and not just sit there scrolling on your phone, watching TV. There's nothing wrong with those things, but if that's all you're doing and watching the news and just sitting there and looking outside and going, then that's, of course you're going to feel like that. Also, get outside, right? You can still obey the social distancing and all the rest of it, but get some fresh air, get some sunshine, get in nature. I mean, if you live anywhere near where I live in Guildford, like any direction you go in, and I've done every direction at this point, I'm going on a long walk every day on my own, and it is fantastic, right? When I get time. And it makes such a difference. The weather is amazing. Like, if you have a garden, go and sit in the garden, right? If you don't, then go outside and go for a walk. You can still obey the social distancing and get that sun, which is going to make you feel much better, get that fresh air, get into nature. It's about what you're doing with the time. So instead of looking at this whole situation as a problem and the things have been taken away from you, reframe it and say, this is an opportunity. What can I do that I wouldn't normally do that's going to make me feel better or make my life better? Or ask yourself this question: how can I use this time to contribute to others? Because that is going to make you feel like what you're doing means something. It's going to make you feel good about yourself. It's going to spread hope to other people. And if you do that, you're going to actually start to enjoy yourself and start to appreciate, and again, bring people closer together. This is about communities. This is about stepping up and helping each other and coming together. So reframe. Start asking yourself the right questions instead of just getting stuck in that mentality, that victim mentality. Start your day by getting yourself in the zone and then really make the most of this time. I hope that's been helpful. Take care.